Hey guys, it's Katt Dee, and I'm here with my Banshee. He says hello. I'm here for my 2017 Disney World trip haul. Can you be quiet, please? Please? Be quiet. Alright, he doesn't want to be quiet. So, my very first item, and he's being temperamental right now, is the Banshee that you see right here. Now, this Banshee is from the new ride, Avatar, and they come in all different colors and shapes and whatnot, and I have the voice volume activated now, and he's this cute little guy, and I know he's like a little juvenile, but I mean, he sits on your shoulder, and he's like all kinds of pretty. And he will just like be your friend. Now, if you guys aren't aware, Disney and Animal Kingdom, they have now created the Avatar ride in which you actually get to ride a Banshee. Can you please be quiet? In the ride, when you're riding this Banshee, it is probably the best ride that I've ever ridden. And eventually, when I finish telling you about him, I'm going to take him off my shoulder and move him aside. Yes. 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 Silence is golden. Okay, so I will explain to you kind of like my process of getting this. So here's my Banshee, and how you get this is basically after you ride the ride, you go through their gift shop, and they're selling these Banshees. Now, this ride is new, and this line just to get this Banshee was a long line. And let me tell you, when they were manipulating and using this Banshee, it looked a lot cooler than I've been able to get mine to actually utilize. So if you're thinking about getting one, just know like the mechanics of it and the logistics of it are a little more difficult than they like actually tell you to begin with. So you see my Banshee here. I got to choose the color. You choose your color, and it does 3 basic movements. So you have your wings here that flip. You have the head opens and he makes noises, and then he turns from left to right. Now, all of these are actually controlled by a control that you have here. When you're turning him left and right, you can turn him both ways, and then he opens his mouth here, and then here is the wings. Now, on top of this, I'll show you kind of how this works here. So it has actually a bar that goes on your shoulder here, and this, I'm going to turn him off now. He has an off button, and this place, so he sits on your shoulder right there, and these two come down to support it on top of your shoulder. Now, they don't tell you that, so when you're trying to manipulate this Banshee to sit on your shoulder, if you decide to pick one up at the park, remember that these two things, push them up, and then once you stick it with the magnet on your shoulder, push it down, and that'll keep it in place. So he's actually this really cool like rubber material, and they have these logs that you can buy that I might pick up when I'm there next time. To like display your Banshee. The other thing that they don't tell you is some of them aren't, because of the way that they are, aren't actually seamed all that well. You can see his glue is already coming apart, and I've barely even like used him. I mean, the second time I've used him, I just showed you guys what he looked like on my shoulder. So they're probably not the best for long-term longevity, unless you're just going to display them, which eventually my husband and I both got one, which probably wasn't the smartest because they are $60, and if you do have a season pass, you don't get a discount or anything like that. But you know, it was our anniversary trip. We loved the ride. We wanted to commemorate, you know, going on the ride for the first time, so we picked up his and her little Banshees. Now, if you see people walking around with this box, I thought they were shoes. They're not shoes. They're these Banshee figures. So stand by while I put him away. Alright, moving on into my haul is something else that we picked up at Animal Kingdom. And it's my husband's favorite ride. So mine obviously is a new Avatar. And he does love the new Avatar, but this was the very first ride that he really fell in love with at Disney. And I don't think enough people know about it, but it's actually Animal Kingdom, and it's called Dinosaur. So my husband and I, we put this pin on him, which is, it says our 2nd anniversary down here, has his name on it there, and we stuck the pin to the dinosaur that we got to commemorate our 2nd year anniversary trip and his favorite ride, which was Dinosaur. So there is his Dinosaur. Okay, so next, and still, we're on the cheese train here. So I saw this guy, and it's another ride that we both really, really enjoy. And we didn't think we were going to get to ride it because the ride was actually struck by lightning when we were there. Yeah, it rained the entire time we were there. But it is from Everest, and it is this fluffy white guy. So how cute is he? So if you don't know the premise of the Everest ride, you're climbing or you're going through Mount Everest, and then you encounter the giant white, I guess it's the abominable snowman or the snow beast or whatever, this giant white snow creature that basically destroys your tracks, or it looks like it destroys your tracks, and then you end up going backwards. It's a really cool ride. So I got the little abominable puffball. So when we went to Epcot, we really didn't get anything from Epcot, and we really didn't get anything from Hollywood Studios. But then we did shop at the Magic Kingdom, and where I did the rest of my shopping, I don't have his stuff with me, was at the Haunted Mansion store. I love this ride. Like, this ride is so popular, and it's not like super scary or anything. It's just, I love the aesthetic of this ride. I love Halloween in general. I love the premise of the ride. I love how dark and creepy it is. I love that they've expanded it so much, and I love that people are actually into the memorabilia so much that they created a little gift shop for them. And this was the first time I got to go in the new gift shop. So the very first thing that I picked up, because she is beautiful. Now, if you know anything about the Haunted Mansion or whatever, you know that there's Master Gracie, which is typically a guy. So we have the female version of Gracie. And she is beautiful. Now, if you're not familiar with Disney as much as I am, you will see that her leggings here are actually what they call creepy wallpaper. So it is what the wallpaper looks like in the Haunted Mansion. She's got the beautiful purple hair and her little bat front here, and she is just beautiful. And I think she is going to go beautiful in my collection. And I've never seen a Disney attractionista before. So yeah, and then there's the whole story of, you know, Gracie in the back and the Disney theme parks, and a cute little picture of her here. And yeah, I love that. I picked it up. This was only $24, which is kind of cheap. I just bashed myself in the head for a Disney memorabilia doll. And I love her so much. Gracie. And it says Disney Parks on it, so. All right, so one of my favorite things that I got, and there's two things that I really love. I actually showed a friend of mine, and I saw it at Hollywood Studios, and then I was like, oh my gosh, we have to go back and pick it up. And then it poured and rained, and we couldn't go back and pick it up. And I am so glad that I got this. So if you guys don't know where I started, my collecting really started with Disney Vinymations. I used to have a ton of them. They got stolen, long story. I mean, I had thousands of them. Well, hundreds, probably about 1,000 of them. Anyway, I don't have them anymore, but this is actually from the Vinylmation brand, and it is a 9-inch vinyl figure, and it is a special edition, and it is a Disney vinyl collectible figure from the Haunted Mansion, and it is the Bride. Now, if you know anything about Vinylmations, typically Vinylmations are in the shape of Mickey Mouse, and I can show you an example. And within Mickey Mouse, they paint a picture. And this is something completely different that I've never seen Vinylmation do before. And she is just gorgeous. Now, if you don't know about the Haunted Mansion ride itself, this is the Bride, and you actually go through the ride, and the bride kills all of her husbands. That's really the premise. And then haunts this house. How beautiful is she? Like, you see her heart, or lack thereof. I love it so much. And then I'll show you the most beautiful artwork on the back. You guys. So that is probably one of my favorite things that I got at Disney. Something that I just started collecting. I now have the Alice Masquerade. I have Belle that I won from Franklin's giveaway. I have Zero that I got from Zero from Nightmare Before Christmas that I got for winning a gift card to the Ferrera box, and I picked Zero from the Nightmare Before Christmas. And now I have a piece of one of the best, most nostalgic rides to me, the Haunted Mansion, and it's another Jim Shore piece, and it's Beware of the Hitchhiking Ghosts, and it glows in the dark. So I haven't actually taken this out yet, and it traveled, so I'm hoping that nothing got broken. That would be devastating. I haven't even opened it, so I should have opened it there, but when I was there, she's like, oh, did you get the 3 Hitchhiking Ghosts? And I was like, yes. And she was like, man, every time we get that, it sells out right away. Now, we didn't buy a lot of little stuff. We did buy things that we really wanted that you could only get in the parks, or that we felt we'd have to pay scalper prices if we had to get it somewhere else. Alrighty. Woo! So you guys get to see this with me. I mean, I've seen it in person because they had it on their shelves, but I'm loving these Jim Shore figures. I think I'm going to keep collecting them. I've just got to find a different place to put them. I'm going to have styrofoam everywhere. Should I like fast forward this? Oh, I opened it upside down. So if you don't know this ride, you're not going to know the Hitchhiking Ghosts. But the Hitchhiking Ghosts are ghosts that hitchhike in the cart with you. They're trying to get out of the Haunted Mansion or whatever, so they hitch a ride with you. Oh my gosh, I love this so much. This is definitely by far my most elaborate Jim Shore piece. Holy crap, I'm in love. Jesus! Alright. Man, they packaged it really well. I'm very happy with this. No broken thumbs, no broken fingers, which could have happened. So there we go. So there is the Hitchhiking Ghosts, and you have the Haunted Mansion right there. And it does glow in the dark, and then you can see the back here. And from the back, he's got his like little ball and chain. And like literally, you're riding through the thing, and this guy will be like sitting on top of your cart when you're going through. This guy will be in between you two. Like, it's really adorable what they do. Like, I really hope that the Disney box, the Disney Funko box, does something with the Haunted Mansion, either the Bride or the Traveling Ghosts. So yeah, that was my Disney haul. So not a ton of stuff, but some good stuff. Let me know what you like best. I'm Katt Dee, guys. Like, comment, subscribe. Thanks so much. Bye.